Hello, welcome to GMT. I'm Lucy Hockings. Well, good news for football fans all over the world. The wait for the new Premier League season is almost over. Arsenal preparing to host Leicester City at their Emirates Stadium here in London later. The Premier League is turning 25. It is now the most watched professional sports league in the world. 5 billion viewers in more than 200 countries will all tune in to watch the live action at some point in the season. Well, we'll speak to some excited fans here and abroad in just a moment. First, though, a couple of interesting facts and figures for you. Well, I'm joined now in the studio by Vincent Song. He is Deputy Chairman of the Arsenal Supporters Club Shanghai branch based in London. Sophie Gator joins us, Manchester United superfan in Washington, and Tim Stott, a lifelong Chelsea fan who actually lives in Berlin. One other person in the room, of course, right now, that is me. I think I should probably declare at this moment where my loyalties lie. I just said to the floor manager, I am, of course, impartial. She said, you're not, you're impersonal. Giving it away. I will try to remain neutral. I am indeed an Arsenal fan, so I'm going to start with you, Vincent, because what, I'm allowed to. But also Arsenal kick-off tonight. Do you think they're looking good this year?
Well, I think that we are looking all right. I think as an Arsenal fan, I always remain optimistic for the upcoming season. I think whether we'll do well or whether if we can mount a serious title challenge will very much depend on if Alexis Sanchez is staying or not.
Yes, he's not playing tonight, is he?
He's not, and he's not playing the next game either. I mean, if he's leaving, I hope that we bring someone of his caliber. But I mean, still, I think we've done well this summer. We've signed Kolasinac, which is a fantastic player. I think we'll probably just need one more centre half. I know.
We won the Community Shield. We won the FA Cup. It was a good end to the season, a good start to the season, beating Chelsea as well. Let's bring in Tim. We beat you, Chelsea. I have to say, Chelsea in the Champions League, Tim. And the what's it called? Sorry, no, it's the Community Shield. I've got to get that one right. Tim, but I wanted to say, there you are in Berlin. You've got your own league there, the Bundesliga.
And highly successful it is too.
Yeah, so why are you so attached to the Premier League?
Well, I mean, I live 1,000 metres from the Olympic Stadium, so I can see the Hertha fans going past my window while I'm watching Chelsea. I think it's mainly personal. I have 2 decades of emotional energy invested in Chelsea, which I don't have with Hertha Berlin. That's the short answer. But don't get me wrong, you get great value. You can go to the football here for 4 people for the cost of a Premier League ticket in London, so it's a good experience.
And Chelsea's chances this season?
Well, I don't think we'll go from 1 to 10 again as we did a few seasons ago. I think we've still got a good chance of winning it. I was thrilled to hear Conte saying he's not ready to put away the shopping trolley, so he's still there. Morata, goodbye. Antonio Rudiger, by the way, much excitement here in Germany about that purchase. Someone told me that every team needs a good, solid German defender with an umlaut in his name, so goodbye.
OK, Sophie, you're in Washington, and we need a bit of background from you. You're a Manchester United superfan from when you were a very little girl. How did your love of the club all start?
Well, I was born over in the UK, and my dad is from Burnage, and which is just outside Manchester, and my mom is from London, but she grew up she had an uncle who was a massive United fan who every time they would come and play a team in London, he would take her to watch the games. So I really didn't have a choice. I mean, my parents, I think that the story that we always tell in our house is when I was 9 years old and United were going for the treble in '99, my parents took me and my brother out of school for the day. They told the school that we had doctor's appointments and took us to a pub to watch the game. So I really didn't have a choice. And, you know, it's been a lifelong obsession for me ever since then. Yeah, that must have been one of the nicest memories of your childhood, I can imagine. I think lots of people have probably been taken out of school to watch sports matches. But, Sophie, the talk here in the UK, you'll know this, I think, is that the favourites to win this year are Man City, not Man United. What do you make of that? Well, you know, I think that it's going to be a tight race between the 2 Manchester clubs. You know, City have done some really good business, but I still think there's big question marks over their goalkeeper and their centre backs. You know, Stones, I think, is a liability. Otamendi's a great player on his day, but you know, inconsistent, and Kompany just can't stay fit. And so for us, you know, obviously I'm biased, but you know, I really like the business that we've done over the summer. I think for the first time, we're really looking like a Jose Mourinho team. You know, Jose likes to have his teams always have a strong spine going back to when he was at Chelsea. You know, that team had Cech, Terry, Makelele, Lampard, Drogba, and he's got something of that now at United, you know, with De Gea, Bailly, Matic, who I think is going to be a great signing for us, Pogba and Lukaku, who I think will bring the goals that we were missing last season and help us turn all those draws into victories. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic ahead of the new season, and so excited for it to get started.
Tim, you're nodding, I think probably a bit nostalgic as you listen to Sophie, but what about all this money that's been spent? I mean, the clubs have really splashed the cash. Do you think it's sustainable?
Well, every single season people say it's unsustainable, and every single season they're going to spend more and more. I mean, if you're an accountant, it's unsustainable. If you're a football fan, it's bring it on. Man City, sure, they've spent so much money. I think they're the main challenger for Chelsea, that's for sure. But any Chelsea fan would obviously fear, as we just heard, Mourinho getting settled in the club is always a dangerous proposition.
Vincent, why do you think the league is so successful internationally, that people, no matter what the time of day or night, are, you know, getting up, setting their, you know, timers to and their alarms to get up and watch their favourite team?
Well, I think that this is probably down to the Premier League being very competitive. Take, for example, the La Liga. Like, I think Real Madrid or Barcelona, they can afford to play their B team against a lower sides like the weekend before the Champions League clash, for example. But in the Premier League, you cannot afford to do this. If you play a weakened team, even against the likes of, no disrespect, but against the likes of Hull, I mean, you probably will not get a result. And I think this is mainly due to the fact that the Premier League clubs, we share the TV money almost equally. So what this does is it creates a level financial playing field, so that clubs get a lot of money from TV deals, whereas in the other leagues, I think, for example, in the La Liga, clubs negotiate their own TV deals. So in that case, I think basically what happens is that the likes of West Ham and Southampton and Hull, they are basically in the same market for players as, for example, Arsenal, because we are all looking at players who cost in the region of 30 million.
It does come down to coaches in a big way, but also down to players, because everyone, of course, has their favourite player. I want to ask each of you, Sophie, to start with you, the player that you're most excited about this season, is it Lukaku?
I would say Mkhitaryan. I think that you know, he was the best player in Germany 2 years ago before he joined United, and in a stop-start season last year, he still put up some really great numbers in terms of goals and assists. And you know, it remains to be seen whether, I know Jose liked him more in Europe last season in the Europa League, so it remains to be seen whether he plays week in, week out in the Premier League, but I'm very excited to see how he does this season.
Tim, you?
Antonio Rudiger from Roma, unusual to say defender, but he could be that rock that we have for seasons to come, not just the coming season, and I think he was a great bit of shopping.
Vincent?
Well, for me, I think the obvious answer would be our marquee signing, Alexander Lacazette. But I think I'll keep an eye out also for our new left-back, Kolasinac, because I think he's a terrific player.
OK, well, it's shaping up to be an exciting season. Do I say good luck to all of you? I think I have to. It's been great to have you with us. Looking forward to a good season. Go the Gunners, I say.
Yes.
Do stay with us here on BBC World News.